All right. So are we ready? Yep, it is exactly 5 o'clock. All right, this is our closing, but we have 2 events after this. Our book signing for our Spanish book with Lorena, who's my wonderful student who you heard speak, who helped me translate. And then we also have the self-care lab coming back to energize us. And they're going to do a Q&A. Nita's going to do a Q&A about her experience and everything. So that is going to be quite interesting to hear from the self-care lab. So, but first of all, conference highlights. Wow, like what a wonderful 2 days. Like I really feel like this one stepped up the game. Like the topics that we had, the people, like, you know, I mean, Adam Vining blew me away today on what he presented. It had me thinking, and I worked on that with him and I was still blown away, you know. And I mean, this morning, the BLM panel, I mean, we just had Lorena, and then, I mean, oh my God, there was just so many wonderful things that happened. And we had the rape kit panels, like every single thing you wanted to hear. Felicia Reed, like, you know, and it was like, it just flowed, you know, the microaggressions, they all piggybacked off each other, you know. And yesterday we had Men Healing come, and, you know, it's like, it was just an amazing, amazing days. And I know that this will continue. And I'm just so happy that we always get funding from A Better LA, and Scott helps me with that. And then we also have NASCA here, who also puts me on the radio every year, Bill Murray. And there's so many people who support me, and USC, and we're going to take down that house next year. Like, come on now. And there's always been such support to keep this free. To keep this free. People say, you're giving away the farm. I am not. Because the seeds I'm planting in the community, oh my, they're greater than any money I could get from doing this, right? So we got to get grants and get more staff and all that stuff. But the volunteers I get and the students, I want to thank you, Christina, Devin, Allie, who's not here, Jessica, and Gabby, who were here earlier in the year, and Elena and Scott and Ed, and, you know, even Simon and Bill, who pitched in, and, you know, all of these people. And of course, Captain Young, who connects all of this, and then Benjamin, who I got, and Dulce and Robert. Like, there's been so many people who've been in and out of committee. And if I'm missing anybody, please forgive me, but I can't do it. I can't do it without all you guys, and all you guys putting up with my crazy, okay? And I know that. 100%. And then there's my husband, who's ironing and steaming, who's always telling me just to take a chill pill, right? And thank you so much for always supporting me, because you know I made this conference for you, because I can't do anything small, right? So every year he gets a love letter from me, and that's this conference. People don't know that. I made that for him because he's a survivor, and I wanted people to hear him, right? So that is the story that goes with this all the time. So thank you for always letting me give that love letter to my husband every year. It always chokes me up. And so with that, those are some of my highlights. I don't know where Aquil is. Where's my brother? I don't know. Okay, I'll yell at him later. So, but because he's not here, we can go right into the Hope Awards, and then that'll give people a little bit more time, like a minute and a half, if they want to say anything after they get their award, right? So I would love to give that time there. So the first winner I have on my sheet, I don't even think I have them in any particular order, right, is Miss Hawkins. And Miss Hawkins, I met her this year. And I remember my husband's like, why do you call her Miss Hawkins? I said, because I can't pronounce her name. And Scott can tell you I mess up everybody's name, but I can say Miss Hawkins. And I remember she told me my name is not Matrice, it's Martrice. And I may be saying it wrong now. And I'm just like, I'm never going to have that conversation again with her about her name. Most people just let me go on, like Duluce is, you know, Dulce, right? Now, you're Miss Hawkins, but you've earned my respect, and you deserve it because of all the things you do in the community. You taught me so much about what the FBI does. I just knew a surface. And you taught me how they go into communities, and how we can come together, and how they don't have to have these ideas or fears. And so that's why you got this for your work. And so this is how pretty they are. She has hers. And so if you want to say something in 1 minute, please go ahead. You have the mic.
Thank you. Thank you. Can everyone hear me? Great, great. Well, first off, I am overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive the Hope Lifetime Achievement Award. Hopefully I won't tear up like they do on TV. I'm honored to be recognized by the Script Conference. For the last 15 years, I have served in numerous roles of public service, and the last years with FBI Los Angeles. So this award means so much to me because it comes directly from Script, a leader in bridging the gap between diverse communities, groups, and entities. And this accomplishment is not something that I could have achieved alone. The work that I do on behalf of the FBI and being able to partner with Script and faith-based organizations and other youth community organizations is because of the support that I receive from executive management. And so I would like to thank and share this award with my colleagues at the FBI, the Assistant Director, Christy Johnson, who's in charge of our field office, the Assistant Special Agent in charge of my particular division, Alex Arroyo, and my supervisor, my direct supervisor, Supervisory Special Agent, Chris Minor. And then I also want to thank my colleagues who make so many adjustments and changes in order to be able to support the community outreach work that we are doing here in Los Angeles and the Inland Empire. And I want to give a shout out to my colleagues that joined me yesterday, Crystal, George, and Vanya, who joined us from FBI headquarters. So I also want to thank them for supporting me, whether it's virtually or in person, in enabling us to be able to connect with our communities, whether it's the senior community, youth, students, all over. And then I also would like to thank my mom, who is out there on the phone on Duo. I also want to thank my daughter for their love and support. And I also want to give a shout out to Captain Young for both her mentorship and friendship. And last but not least, thank you, Dr. Debra, for creating this forum for community dialogue, engagement, and above all, recognition. So I look forward to a continued partnership with Script. And once again, I'm humbled and appreciative. Thank you.
And just to let you know, she won all the categories. So the Lifetime Achievement is for education, innovation, and also community intervention. And so she encompassed them all. And we have a committee that's Captain Young and Benjamin, but they take everything from the community. So if someone nominates, and then they count the nominations, and then they read them, and then they decide, and then other people decide, and then I find out who wins. And so it's like really an amazing thing because we put it out there in the ether for lots of people to submit, and you got all the categories. So it's just awesome. So with that, the next person that I have, and I am going to apologize up front for not being able to say your name, because I don't think I'll ever be able to say your name. And I'm so sorry, okay? But I'm going to try to say it phonetically. Tika Duque, and I think you say your name is Kaya. So I am just going to let you say your name, and I apologize. It's just not my thing, and I even practice, and that's the best I can do. So go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Hi, everyone. My name is Takia Duclay. I go by Kia, like the car. And so, yeah, I wrote out a speech because I'm not really good at this. This is the first time I've ever received anything so amazing. So I wrote out what I was going to say.
And she got it for community intervention. So,
yeah. So I would like to start by saying that I am truly grateful for this award. Thank you to the entire Script team and those who nominated me. It feels great to be recognized for something more than just being a survivor of human trafficking. It lets me know that I'm doing something right in the world, whether I thought I was doing wrong for so long or not. People definitely counted me out, and now I'm proud of the work that I do, and I truly have turned my pain into passion. I dreamed to get a number of abandoned buildings and turn them into luxury long-term shelters, and to create solar-powered motorcycles with a vocational school attached with free room and board and food and possibly a stipend, and also teach life skills a part of that curriculum. Thank you to my amazing support system. I don't understand why I got so lucky. To my mama bear Vanessa, my boss Miss Pam, my speech coach Miss Lauren, all the agencies who supported me, like Children of the Night, The Cove, Larkin Street Youth Station, CAST, RDS, and Journey Out. My super apologies for those who I left out and couldn't remember at this time. Thank you to all my amazing friends that have become my family, my mentor, Miss Lenny, my etiquette teacher, and everyone who has helped me along the way. I made it, y'all. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you. Wonderful words. And our next person, someone that I was just so excited to tell won this award for education and training. And I am on his board, but he, like I said yesterday, he walks the walk, he talks the talk, like he does the work. And so I was so happy to be able to give Jim Struve this wonderful award.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so
Oh, you
humble.
got it.
I got it in the mail right here, and I am so appreciative and so humbled to receive this from this conference. I love working with you, Debra, both in this conference and on the board, and too many people to thank by individual names, but the people that are responsible for me being able to do this work currently, all the alumni, the male survivor alumni who have gone through the weekends of recovery that Men Healing has conducted, will be doing our 90th weekend this year. We've been doing these, this is our 20th year doing them. We have 1,800 survivors who have been through our weekends, and they are why I keep doing this work. It's such an incredible family of men, watching men who have experienced trauma becoming brothers and giving back in the community. We've got a lot of the alumni who are on our team, work with our staff. We have 9 support staff, some of whom are our alumni. We have a 6-member board that is dynamite. And we have 18 members of our facilitator team. And a lot of us do our work volunteer. So people who are really doing it for love and compassion and gratitude for what we're doing. So I've been doing this for 46 years. And to be at this point where Men Healing is thriving is such a gift. And thank you for this award. And this is the 3rd year I've been a part of the script conference. So I am so grateful that you invited me the first time, that I continue to be included. And if it wasn't for all the other people there, none of this would even be possible. So thank you.
And what a joy. And I love giving you sweat equity. That's what I call it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the next person won for innovation. And Jennifer, I had to hunt you down. You didn't even believe that I was talking to you. And I'm like, honey, yeah, I'm talking to you. Like I've written you twice. Can you please respond to me? And I just can't believe she wouldn't think so with everything that she does. So that's just crazy. And you come to the conference. Like I was like, come on now. So Jennifer Barbosa, if I mispronounce your name, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you pronounced it right. Thank you so much, Dr. Debra. And yes, I will be honest, I was super surprised to have received the email. I think at first I was like, is this a scam? What's going on? Like, I just couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. And I will be honest, I was like, let me do my research. I don't like this must be a mistake. This must be for somebody else. But I can truly say I am super honored and feel very humbled to have received this award. I definitely have had the opportunity to attend these conference events for the past years, and just to be a part of, I guess, yeah, one of the awardees tremendously did surprise me. But I appreciate this award, and it truly means so much to me. And I think, again, thank you, Dr. Debra, and the rest of the team for this opportunity. But also I want to, just I think, I always go back to, being a survivor of teen dating violence, but also growing up as a domestic violence survivor, witnessing domestic violence within my household. I gotta thank the advocates, the support that I had growing up, and especially my mentor, Gio Martinez, who just never gave up on me. And I truly appreciate that support that she really just brought onto me, that motivated me and inspired me. to just pursue this career and be out there and just continue planting those seeds with our youth, the prevention education part, to just educate them and hopefully be able to break that cycle. And, and just lastly, I would like to thank just my family and just the support that they've provided me, my partner, my children too. I have 2 little ones, and this is the work I do for them, but also the clients that I get to work with, the families, the kiddos that I get to work, that just continue to inspire me. And I just appreciate being around everyone here in this room too. I feel like, every time I get to meet someone who's just doing the work, I always say I admire each one of you. So thank you again. And I appreciate this award. And like I said, I think even my kiddos were surprised to have seen the award, but thank you so much, Dr. Debra, and the rest of the team.
And they are pretty. I mean, oh my goodness. So I'm just excited because they're so pretty. Okay, so with that, big yay to everybody again. We're going to move on to Dulce and Robert, who are going to close us out. You have about 10 minutes or so, and you're going to close us out in the conference and in your own way. So I don't know where your brother is.
Yes, he's texting me now, so he's logging.
Okay.
He's logging in now. But I just want to say good afternoon. Thank you. What a day. What wisdom, what knowledge, what opportunity we had today. It was like the Amazon of resilience. I mean, I didn't know, what to gravitate. Everything just was so in sync. Everything just flowed. Conversations to conversations. So I just want to thank, first of all, I want to just give a big shout out to my graduate student, my friend, my partner at work, Benjamin Valdez, which is, I mean, just a young man with so much commitment to the community, so much talent, so much resilience. And brother, I just want to acknowledge you for taking this and really running with helping Scott and Debra's vision and the team and being so flexible. I couldn't ask for, anyone else to work alongside of me. I know that you'll transition soon into your career, into your profession. And as I've told you before, I can't just wait and sit and watch the impact that you're gonna have beyond Boyle Heights, beyond the East area, and just out in the community and beyond. So thank you so much, Benjamin. I really appreciate you. With that, under the leadership of Dr. Debra Warner, I mean, powerful stuff. Like I mentioned, it was a space that encompassed an opportunity for us to, I think Scott said it best when he said these 2 days, I mean, you're hungry to learn more. You're hungry, like we just want more, right? So I challenge all of us. I challenge all of us in our spaces, talking from a young girl, a survivor of trauma, someone, I think, as Dr. Reed shared, I mean, man, I've been exposed to so much. And it wasn't until I was a graduate student like Benjamin, it took till I was in my early 30s to realize that I didn't have the bad seed in me. I had just been exposed to a lot that a child should not be exposed to. So this is my love letter, and I get a little choked up, to my brother, who's a survivor, a male survivor. So this is my love letter. I love that, Debra, to my brother and to my brothers who are survivors, and to those that didn't survive, right? And so thank you for allowing us this space. Thank you for allowing us to build community, to build upon this. Every year it just gets better. And when people say we weren't able to touch so many people via Zoom, look at this. Look at the power that this brings, the value that this brings. So with that, Debra, I mean, totally just thank you for the opportunity to be vulnerable. Thank you for the opportunity to really, Ben, could you call Robert? I think he's having some issues, but I really, if you could do that for me. Thank you for the opportunity to transform and to be a pioneer in this spiritual space. So many of us that grew up with leaders that didn't look like us, like I shared with Dr. Reed, leadership that we thought was beyond our reach, understanding that we were experts of our own community, but that no one really listened, right? The opportunity now that we could carry our voice, that collectively we have that value that we, for many years, for decades, we just didn't know that we held that value. So I thank you, Debra, for this space, and I challenge everyone. How do we contribute? How do we influence? Where can we go back to our spaces and really commit to the change, to that transformation? Often I share with Benjamin, when I come out of a space, I work for the University of Southern California. I serve as your principal director for community and local government relations. But before that title, you know, before I could play that role, I'm also I carried the labels of a single mother, as an at-risk individual, a young lady who was just lost, right? So how do I bundle that story and also acknowledge that I am a leader, that I am an influencer in my own space, that I do have that value, and it's something that we challenge ourselves every day, because I still sometimes have to pinch myself that I have that dream where I could hold a university accountable for what hasn't happened, but I could also influence the future of what is possible and what can happen. And how do I deal with that, right, in my own space? How do I look someone in the eye and say, trust me, where there was no trust? So when I wake up every day and I'm able to go out in my community and just do what I do best, which is listen, nurture, respect, and just provide the opportunity to learn something that I haven't learned, to hear a story that I haven't heard, and to work alongside my community. So with that, again, how can we make the script conference even greater next year? So I call upon all of you that are here and maybe have some graduate students that work with them, some interns, some staff, some family member, someone that feels powerless, that doesn't think that they hold that value. And how could we continue to nurture that relationship so they find their value, so they find their voice? So that's really what I want to leave you with today, is to take everything that this beautiful opportunity that we had to learn today, and how do we just continue to work together, continue to nurture our relationship, and make this even a greater script conference next year, whatever is within our power. And I think, is my brother Robert on now? Robert?
Good to see you.
Hey, Bobby.
Good to see you. Sorry, I've been trying to get on for the last 30 minutes, but
Oh,
we're here. We
that's
made it.
Yeah.
We made it. And I was just coming from a great community event with Dr. Basheer. I want to make sure I made it here, but the whole running theme is about union, about leadership, and about accountability, and how we could continue to learn from each other, continue to get this type of forum as in scripts, as Dr. Warner always hosts, so we could continue to refresh our souls, our minds, our body, our spirits, to continue to learn new things, continue to come together as one body. And with that, we got to continue that continuum of care and education and wisdom. Thank you, Dr. Warner and Scripps, for all that you do. It is just, powerful. We're going to continue this at USC. I'm hoping we could do it on the ground next year, as we start to, hopefully everybody starts to do their part and take care of one another, so we could be in community together in person. So I know Scripps is really continuing to keep this connection alive. So thank you, Dr. Warner. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate everybody at Scripps. And this year's theme, leadership, coming together, union, learning from one another, and keeping accountable to community. That's our mandate, to always be accountable to community. And whatever we're putting out there resonates with what everybody experiences, and everybody has a role. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you for coming. And thank you both for always having your kind words and closing us out. And yeah, I knew Aquil was at some event, so he probably didn't make it back. But that's okay. We have a few minutes left before our signing. And one of the things I want to do is, say a few words. We have a lot of stuff coming up next year at Script. And we also want you to help us make the theme. We have a committee that we talk, but I would really love some people to tell us when we send that out. We send out emails saying, what do you want to do next year? What do you want to talk about? Respond. This conference is for all of us. Like I said, we're like family getting together every year, but we're family with a theme. So tell me what it is, and what it is that we want to talk about, because that's what Script is for, is bringing us together on a common theme, right? Because everything touches men. So if we think about it that way, we can help our men move forward, and we can also break that silence and that shame. Okay. Script is also the next book that we are going to be writing is Tales from the Barbershop, San Angelo. I go and take care of my aunt who has dementia, but I went into the barbershop. They said I'm the only one allowed really to go in there. I don't know, because I'm a girl. Because I guess because I work in corrections, it won't bother me. I'm not quite sure. But anyways, I've been listening to these people tell their stories. And this is a town that's virtually untouched. They have one terminal they have two terminals now and a plane. And you have to like book this flight out and wait 4 hours to get on the flight, because they have like maybe 2 people who work there running this airport. Okay, so this is a town that's like untouched by time. And I sit in there and I listen to these stories, and I'm like, oh my God, all these men telling me their stories of their life and their history. And so my husband's like, you should like go to different barbershops and hear these stories. And so I'm going to do Tales from the Barbershop. Then I'm going to do Tales from the Barbershop San Angelo. Then I'm going to do Tales from the Barbershop Law Enforcement, Tales from the Barbershop. So it's going to be these series of people, and I ask them 4 questions. And so that's the next book that I'll have out next year. This year I did 2 books, but I don't think I'll do that next year. I was really busy. And so and so that will be the next one for Script. And I'm just really excited. We have the LLU that you can see Script. You can be part of Script all the time and take the classes from a lot of the people you heard here. We have discovery tours. When COVID opens up, we'll definitely be running, but there are some places we can go, especially in the United States. And also, we have all of these mini panels going on all year long. And I really, really, really want people to take advantage of that. And this year we learned so much. And we have, and I want to thank everybody again, but we have about 3 minutes. And sometimes I let people open the mic and say something if they want to say it to end out the conference, or we go into something else. So with that, we have about 3 minutes. Does anyone want to say anything at the end of this conference for a highlight?
If you may, Dr. Werner.
Sure.
I just want to say part of the healing process and part of really allowing us to heal healthy is connection. And that's the key. And this is what this conference represents, is connection and building community. So it's so powerful. I can't emphasize enough. Thank you. I just want to say that.
Someone said amen to that.
Amen. This is Bobby Hyde. Debra, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, honey.
I want to say something about that Chris Scallon. I was really surprised that someone addressed that understanding. Even if you know that you experience something like that, there was no way that you could have found that in a psychology book. And there you had it right on your show. And it was just opening of some special place. That idea. Thank you.
And she'll be doing a course on the LLU if you want to take more go to LOU and take a whole course at your own pace, or take one of our discovery tours to talk about that. And everything, follow us on our social media, which Devon has put inside of the chat, and on Instagram, so that we can continue to keep in touch with you throughout the year. And we post all kinds of things throughout the year, which is amazing. So please, please, please do that. And everything will be up on the Listen and Love channel. So if you missed something, you can go back and listen to it. Those will be up in the next 2 weeks. But if you're on our Instagram, you'll know exactly when they're being posted, so that you can post and share. You got to post and share so people know we're here. That's the only way they're going to know. And if you want to donate to Script, go to thescriptconference.com and do that. If you forget, just go to drdebrawarner.net. There's everything I've talked about right on that webpage. And you can click a button and be taken right to where you want to go, or contact me or contact the Script staff. Thank you so much. So with that, we have the book signing, we have Nita coming up, and then we have our happy hour, the close out Script. It has been a wonderful event, and I cannot wait for these next 2 events, because you'll hear me talk about the sweat equity that went into that. So thank you so much.